welcome everyone to the first episode of the Cycling Frogcast. I'm Anthony, 27 years old, from Belgium, the cycling Walhalla, everyone knows it. This is my first podcast. I'm excited, new adventure. I'm curious to see where this goes. For now, I'm alone, so in the future I would like to have a co-host, or 2, 3, 4, I don't know, because it looks for me very fun to have a conversation about cycling and change ideas, different opinions. But today it's all me. Today I want to talk about some news we had in the last few weeks. No season recap, not yet. Maybe at the end of the year I will do that. But there are some few interesting points I want to talk about. We have the Giro, Lotto, their program for the coming year, Cavendish, B&B, and Miguel Angel Lopez. And those 3 points, Miguel Angel Lopez, B&B, and Kev, also Astana with that together. But that's for later. I will start first with the Giro. I know it's not here yet, but we have exciting news about 2 cyclists that will participate in it. We will get another duel between Evenepoel and Roglic. Roglic is interesting that he will ride the Giro, because he said a few weeks ago he would prefer to ride the Tour de France because his injury, and he will have more time to have prepared for the Tour. But Jumbo-Visma clearly decided the other way. And I get the point for Jumbo-Visma. They have Vingegaard. He won the Tour, so of course he's like number 1. And Roglic, I think it's easier for him to win the Giro. He's not getting any younger. A lot of TT kilometers in the Giro. So I get the point, and he will get like a very good team around him too. Wilco Kelderman is also confirmed. He can win it also. He has to be a bit lucky, but he can end top 5, top 10 easily. So I think it's a really good opportunity for Roglic to ride the Giro. And is one of his opponents gonna be Evenepoel? You know, he had an awesome season. He won a few big races: Liège-Bastogne-Liège, World Champion, San Sebastian, and of course La Vuelta. He will go back to the Giro, back to Italy. Also for him, it's revenge time. We know his first Grand Tour was the Giro after his horrible injury in Lombardia, and we know how that went. It started pretty well, but yeah, he was not well prepared for it. So he can go back to that, and same for him. As for Roglic, a lot of TT kilometers, and we will see the world champion in the Giro. That's always fun to see. Talking about riding the Giro, one team that will not ride the Giro, Lotto. They're not a World Tour team anymore, of course. And they decided to not ride the Giro that coming year. They have the right to do that. They can choose which World Tour race they will ride or not. They will not ride the Giro because they can prepare their team better for the Tour, and during the Giro there's a lot of races in Belgium, and they can get more points there, because on the end of the season they have to be top 2 of the World Tour, of the Pro Tour series, to keep their World Tour ticket. And also the coming 3 years they have to fight to be again in the World Tour, but they have to be every year the coming 3 years top 2, or they will lose their start right in the World Tour. So that's an interesting choice. I find it a bit weird also, because they had a lot of success in the Giro the last years. Um, Johan, Thomas Agent, they all won stages in the Giro. But yeah, I think it will have been a great opportunity to start with some younger guys in the Giro. Arnaud Delis will not ride the Grand Tour yet. I see why he's still young, but I wouldn't have minded if he started in the Giro or the Vuelta. But as a Belgium team, they can ride a lot of races in Belgium during that time. The point system is a bit fucked in that regard, that you can get more points in Belgium in races that are only seen in Belgium, basically, instead of on an international podium in one of the Grand Tours of the year. So I find it interesting. I don't know if I totally find it a good decision that they don't ride Tirreno Adriatico and Volta de Catalunya, I think, or one of the Spanish 1-2 races. I get that. But a Grand Tour is a big deal for the cyclists. And I think on the long term it can maybe be negative for riders without a contract, and they can choose between some teams. Maybe they will think, oh, Otto will not ride one of the Grand Tours, so there's less chance for me to ride in Grand Tour, and they will go maybe to another team that will ride the 3 Grand Tours. That's my opinion on that. We will see how that goes. So that's interesting. B&B, the team from Jerome Pinot, I think. Jerome? It's Pinot, for sure, but never mind. He had big dreams, big hopes, and a lot of sponsors. He wanted to make a women's team. He wanted to make B&B a World Tour team with Cavendish as their supreme sprinter. They wanted to go with Cavendish to the Tour de France and beat the record of Eddy Merckx. All those cyclists signed a contract, and every week, closer to December, this sponsor didn't want to sign. It's been a shit show, honestly. All those cyclists in December, and you hear, sorry boys, no team. I find it horrible for them. Every team is already on stage to Spain or whatever, and then you have to search a team. That's pretty difficult. We see the older guys already stopping, Pierre Roland, for example. Luckily, a few riders found some new teams. A great transfer for Alpecin, Ramon Sinkeldam, one of the best leadouts in the peloton. Was very important for them, and Philipsen needed it, a better leadout, because it was not so great this year. Philipsen's season was great, but the leadouts weren't that fantastic. So it's an absolute steal for Alpecin to snatch up Ramon Sinkeldam last minute, a Dutch cyclist in a Belgian Dutch team. He will fit in perfectly, I think. Two other guys, Cavendish and Kisbel, found a place at Astana. How that comes is they have to be thankful for, that's a bit weird to say it like that, but Miguel Angel Lopez. The last years he's been a bit negative in the news. We all remember the Vuelta with Movistar, where he stopped cycling because his teammates were in attack and he lost a lot of time, and he was angry. Movistar stopped the contract. He went back to Astana. Before the Vuelta, Astana said Miguel Angel Lopez did something wrong, and then we saw the images of him on the airport getting arrested by the police. He's been in some shady relationships with some shady doctors. We don't know a lot of it yet, so we need to wait for a final outcome of that. But he's not riding anymore for Astana, so there came a place free for, yes, Cavendish. And then they needed another place for Kiss Ball, because Cav and Kiss are under the same management, Sake Racing. And it was pretty important for Cavendish, surely when he went to Astana, to have a lead out, because Astana is not known for their sprinters or being a sprinting team. Although I see some potential for a good lead out. Moscon, I think he can go into a lead out reign. Fabio Fellini, I think, will be a good addition to the lead out reign. Case Ball, not the best sprinter of the bunch, but also not the worst. He's definitely there in the top 30, I think. Super important for Cavendish that he went with him. Astana will give Cav all the chances in the Tour that he needed to win his last stage in the Tour de France, to beat the record of Eddy Merckx. I think only Lutsenko is confirmed yet, so they can make it, and they can make a good team around Cavendish. Lutsenko can be like, you give him one helper and he's good, you know. He just has to follow and go in attack. He's not going to be a top favorite neither for winning the Tour. A top 10 is, I think, the maximum he can get. Maybe a top 5 with some luck and good form. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see Astana this year. It's a fun team. There's always something going around them. They always have also the cyclists that ride for them are like bad boy-ish. Moscon, Miguel Angel Lopez, the boss Vinokourov is not the cleanest yet also. So that's interesting. Also, I'm gonna stop the podcast here. In the future, I hope to have a co-host so I can spar a bit, you know, discussions more naturally. Now I'm staring at my screen. It's a bit uneasy, but I'm really enjoying it. I can talk about my passion, that cycling is. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any points of improvement for me, let me know. Are you interested eventually to record this podcast with me? Let me know. What are some things I have to discuss the next time? Let me know. And the last thing, thank you guys for listening to my podcast. Even if you only listen for 30 minutes, 30 seconds, really thank you. Even if nobody listens, I do it not for the views or whatever. I do it because it's fun, because it's my passion to talk about cycling. And that's it. Thank you guys, and to the next time. Bye bye.